and 12. Revelation chapter 22, verse 11 and 12. Revelation chapter 22, verses 11 and 12. And the Bible reads, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. If I would give this message a title, it would simply be entitled, When Probation is Denied. When probation is denied. Last week we talked about if today was your last day, which is a question all of us need to think about, as I said back then. Because it is a possibility that today could actually be our last day. It's a possibility, as I said, that we will take our last breath. It's a possibility that we can hear our last sermon. It's a possibility that we can listen to our last song. It's a possibility that we can have that last thought, whether it's good or bad. But today could be our last day. According to the word. So if it was a possibility, if this were our last day, where would we stand? But today, brothers and sisters, when probation is denied, when probation is denied, every one of us at least knows somebody or have known someone that has been on probation. Usually you get probation for a crime that is not so serious. A crime that is not so violent. A crime doesn't involve so much. So they will normally give you probation. Sometimes it may be 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 10 years. But you get probation. Brothers and sisters, and the thing about probation is this, brothers and sisters, is when the judge and the PA, which is the prosecuting attorney, and the DA, the district attorney, or your attorney, they get together and they talk about what is happening, about them discussing this situation. Then they will decide either we can give them probation or we can give them jail time. A lot of times it is probation for some folks. And the probation, brothers and sisters, it is a time for you or me to get ourselves together. It is time for us to get our acts together. It is time for us to do what we're supposed to be doing, brothers and sisters. But as soon as probation is ended for some folks, they fall right back into the old ways.
Yes.
When probation is denied. We need to understand something. When does our probation start in the spiritual realm? When were we first put on probation? Because there's something that we all need to understand. Every one of us today that are sitting here, we're on probation. No matter how holy you may appear, no matter how sanctified we may be at, every one of us this morning, we're on probation. And when did our probation end? The Bible tells us like this in Genesis chapter 3, verse 6, where the Bible says, so when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, she took of the fruit and she ate. And she also gave it to her husband, and he also ate. So what did that tell us, brothers and sisters? The day that Adam and Eve disobeyed God was the day that every one of us went on probation.
On probation.
Wow. So it wasn't the day that you were born. It wasn't the day that you just decided to sin. It was the very day that Adam and Eve decided, brothers and sisters, to take of the fruit, to be disobedient, that every one of us were put on probation. For we know what the Bible tells us in John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Why did he give his Son? Because we were put on probation. Romans 5:8 says it like this. But God demonstrated his love, brothers and sisters, toward us. That yet, while we were what? While we were yet sinners, brothers and sisters. While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So, brothers and sisters, we're on probation. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care about your background. You're on probation.
That's so true.
And it happened the very day that Adam and Eve decided, brothers and sisters, to partake of the forbidden fruit. Was the day that God put all of us on probation. For the Bible says in Genesis chapter 3:15, it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and the woman's seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise its heel. He said, let me tell you something, Satan, because of what you have done, I'm going to put enmity between thee and the woman's seed. There's going to be some problems. He's going to crush, actually, your head, and you're going to bruise his heel. But the truth of the matter is, brother, something that if the truth be told, we need to understand something. Every one of us are facing probation. It doesn't matter how long we've been in church. It doesn't matter how many days a week we go to church.
That's so true.
Brothers, if we keep the Sabbath or not, you're on probation. If you eat meat or not, you're on probation. If you drink alcohol or not, you're on probation. If you understand the Bible prophecies, brothers and sisters, or not, you're still on probation. If you pray and if you study, you're still on probation. And if you preach or not, you're still on probation. So what are you saying, Pastor? What I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't matter who we are, where we come from, where we're going, what we're doing. Every one of us today, we're on probation. So I can't look at Sister Rose and point my finger at her and say, well, if she never would have did what she did, then she wouldn't be on probation. Because, brother and sister, I can't point a finger at her because I too find myself on probation.
It's true.
The Bible tells us in Romans 3:23, it says, for what? For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. There's no little eyes and no little youth here. Every one of us have messed up. Every one of us have sinned. Every one of us have walked in the wrong way. Every one of us have gone in the wrong direction. All of us have messed up. And every one of us
That's so true.
are on probation. So brothers and sisters, so what do we need to do? We need to start looking at ourselves and getting ourselves together. So it doesn't matter how holy we are. Doesn't matter about that. Doesn't matter how hard you can praise. Doesn't matter about that. You're on probation. Moses was as humble as he was. But Moses was put on probation. David was a man after God's own heart. But David was put on probation. Samson disobeyed. He was put on probation. Abraham, the father of faith, he lied and he was put on probation. Isaac was the son of the father of faith, the one that the nations would come through. But he lied and would be put on probation. Peter denied and he lied and he is on probation. Paul, brother and sister, showed partiality and he was put on probation. And Rebecca also lied and she, I had to put a woman in there, was put on probation. Every one of them were put on probation. And even though, brother and sister, the lineage of Jesus would come through most of these people, the Savior would be born through them. Abraham was the father of faith. He, through Abraham, through Isaac and Jacob, all down through the years, somebody was going to be born from his family.
That's right.
And it would be the Savior, the King of Kings. But they all were put on probation. They were liars. They were messed up. They were murderers. They were crooked. They were rapists. David, brothers of the man after God's own heart, murdered commit adultery, lied, messed up, couldn't deal with his children. They were messed up. But brothers and sisters, God still used them, but he was on probation. Well, the Bible tells us in Mark chapter 14:38, it says, watch and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. For the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Brothers and sisters, even though we're on probation, we already know that the spirit is willing. Every one of these individuals that I talked about just a few minutes ago, they were willing. They wanted to do what God would have them to do. But the flesh was weak. We all have to battle the flesh. We all have to fight the flesh. For Paul said it like this, for I know that in me, that is in my flesh, Paul said, there is nothing good that dwells in. So brothers and sisters, because of the fact that we are on probation, because of the fact that we mess up, see, the problem is that there's a battle that is going on. Every single day you're fighting.
Yes.
Every single day we're struggling.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if you preach in a church of 5,000, you on probation. You're struggling with something. You're struggling with the flesh because the spirit is willing. The spirit tells us, let's do this. This is the right thing to do. This is the right way to go. But the flesh is weak.
Yes.
And every now and then, the flesh overtakes.
Yes, it
The
does.
spirit. Every now and then, something happens. See, brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter. Even after Paul's conversion, Paul had to be put on probation.
That's right.
Because Paul had a problem thinking that Mark and that Timothy, that Mark was a little too young for the gospel, and he didn't like it, and he said, we don't need him. He's not what we need for the gospel, and it was showing partiality there. But Paul got himself together because he realized, he went back and said, bring him back, bring Mark to us, because he is profitable for the gospel. See, Paul, even though after his conversion, Lord, what will you have me to do? Paul was still on probation. Paul still had to be tested. Paul still needed a mediator, brothers and sisters, on probation. For the song says, oh Lord, I sin, but I keep calling your name. I sin, but I keep calling your name. You keep calling my name. For the Bible says in Romans 5:18, therefore, as by one offense, but one man sinned in judgment into the world. By the sin of one man, sin came upon all men to condemnation. Brothers and sisters, that's what it was. Really, we all should be dead. Condemnation. We can't even stand before him and say, God, look, I did this. God, I done. No, we should have been dead. But then it goes on to say, but even so, by the righteousness of one, the free gift came upon all men unto justification. Brothers and sisters, see, we should have been condemned, but because of the righteousness of one man, there was one man that caused us, brothers, to be condemned, but there was one man, because of his life, called us, brothers and sisters, to be justified. Verse 19 says, for as by one man disobedience, many were made what? Sinners. We all, because of one man disobedience, every one of us became sinners. So by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. Thank God. It said, but by the obedience of one, many shall be made righteous.
He didn't say all.
That's right. Thank you. That's what I was going to say next. He didn't say all of us would be. But he said many shall be made righteous, brothers and sisters. I say, but the problem is we need to understand that we're on probation. We're all on probation right now, brothers and sisters. We have to stand and give an account for God. And while my probation maybe it's a possibility that it could be denied, we're on probation. While on probation, nothing stops. mean nothing stops while you're on probation. See, the thing we need to understand is this. If it was a drug dealer and they put him on probation because of selling drugs, when they let him go, brothers and sisters, he's going to still probably sell his drugs. He's going to be around somebody that's selling drugs. He's going to do something, brothers and sisters, to keep what he's doing going. You see, what happens a lot of times is when you're on probation, you know, it's just your testing period. And it's a time to see if you're going to do what's right or are you going to, you know, continue to mess up. And so therefore, life doesn't stop. Struggles doesn't stop. Sin comes in, temptation doesn't stop. Because you're on probation, brothers and sisters. And you may want to live right. You may want to walk right. We may want to talk right. We may want to love right. But it doesn't stop. Unforgiveness is still there. Unloving is still there. Unfaithfulness is still there. It doesn't stop. We're on probation, brothers and sisters. 1 Peter said it like this. 1 Peter 3, verses 3, 1 Peter 3, 3 through 4, it says this. Knowing this first, that scornful, brothers and sisters, scornful shall come walking after their lust, and the last days walking according to their own lust. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers have fallen asleep, all things continue as they were since the beginning of creation. So what happens? We're on probation, be it a year, be it 10 years, be it 6 months. Right now for us, ever how old you is, that's how long you've been on probation. And so somewhere along that time, we all have messed up. Somewhere along that time when we decide to make our call and election sure, we have messed up. Somewhere along the walk, we have slipped. Somewhere along the journey, we have fallen. Somewhere along the journey, something happened, and where he had to come back in, and I don't see it coming yet. So where is the promise of his coming? He said, for all things continue as they were since creation. So now what we're doing, well, he ain't come back yet. I begin to act like I used to. You know, well, they ain't watching me. You know, the probate's on. Because see, sometimes you'll put on intense probation. That's right. And when you put on intense probation, that means sometimes they come out to your house to see you. And when they come to your house, they go in your bedroom. Then they want to check stuff out sometimes. They want to see if you're really doing what you're supposed to do. They want to look through your phone sometimes and make sure you know you ain't made no crazy phone calls to anybody. Sometimes you have to go to them, and when you go to them, depending on what your problem has been, you might have to go to the restroom, man. And go to the restroom and give them a little sample, and they get that sample. They're going to test it to see if you have been doing what you're supposed to do. Sometimes they're going to surprise you. You won't even know that they're going to come out. They may come on your job just to see what you're doing. A surprise probation, brother, sister, when you're on probation. So it really doesn't matter, saints, but the point is this. We're on probation, but we're being watched every day. That's right. It ain't no surprise. We know that our probation officer never sleeps. Nor does he stop.
No, he doesn't.
We know that our probation officer already knows all.
Yes, he does.
He's omnipotent, but he's here and he's there. He's everywhere. He understands everything about it. So we can't get away from our probation officer. So what we do in the dark,
come to the light.
It's going to come to the light because our probation officer already knows what's going on with us. What else does the Bible tell us? The Bible tells us this in 2 Timothy 3. But know this, that in the last days, brothers and sisters, perilous times shall come.
Yes, it will.
Men will be lovers of their own self, lovers of many, boastful, proud, blasphemers, disobedient.
Yes, they will.
Parents, unthankful, unholy, unrighteous, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, hard-headed, hard-headed, lovers of pleasure, more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. We're living in the last days, brothers and sisters, and
We
we're
are.
on probation. For Noah preached for 120 years, brothers and sisters. Every single time he nailed something in the ark, every time he built the ark, the folk did not know at that time that they were put on probation. So the Bible says in Matthew 24:38, it says, until the day that Noah what? Entered into the ark, brothers and sisters. Until Noah entered into the ark. And did not know until the flood came. See, they were on probation. They didn't know what was going on. All they had to do was accept the call that Noah had told them. Well, they really accept the call, what was about to happen. But they chose to continue to live their lives any kind of way. They didn't care. They didn't realize for 120 years I'm on probation right now. And I have this opportunity, but right now I don't want it. But the Bible says, but the door was shut. And once the door was shut, probation was over for them, brothers and sisters. Their probation was denied. They did not have an opportunity at that time. They did not have a chance now to get, you should have done it right when you had an opportunity. Saints, probation denied. But as of now, we need to understand something. As of now, the Bible tells us in Hebrews chapter 4:16, it says, let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. First of all, even though we're on probation, we can come boldly. If you messed up or not, you can come bold. Because, see, the secular court, now if you mess up, you can't go bold. Because even when you go in there, they won't only let you go but so far.
That's right.
You know, you can only walk but so far in the court. If you look like you get ready to get out of hand, the barrel for somebody will come and grab you.
You better know it.
You can't go up to the court and do this right here.
You better know it.
You better take your hand out your pocket when you stand before the judge. So you can't go there just slopping there and leaning any kind of way. See, this is the respect that we have for the secular court. I'm on probation and I gotta do this, I gotta act this way. But what about God?
That's so true.
We stand before God every single day. He knows everything about us every single day.
Yes, he
And
does.
we don't care how we act. In the courtroom, you can't even talk. In the courtroom now, you can't even take the phones no more.
That's right.
In the courtroom, you look at your watch too much, they gonna come and get you. So, brothers and sisters, so something is wrong. We're on a spiritual probation, brothers and sisters. And we don't even know how to accept it. For the Bible says we can come boldly to the throne.
Yes.
What does boldly mean? It means you can walk up there, brother and sister, with a plainness of speech. Because, see, there are times, see, when you go before the judge, they ain't gonna hear no yeah, no,
Maybe.
they want to hear, yes, sir,
Yes, sir.
yes, ma'am,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
well, your honor, this is what, blah, 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 blah. However it is, when you stand before the judge. But God tells us, I'm your judge, I know what you're doing, but you can come and you can come to me with praise. God, you know, I just messed up. And sometimes some folks might even go a little further than and use a little profanity before God, but God
I
understands.
already know.
He already understands. Now, we're not saying it always happens, but there are times when folks don't understand it, and they get it carried into their own realm where they want to get to. And they'll talk any kind of way, but God understands. You do it in court, you might get handcuffed. But you're still doing it before God, He still forgives.
Yes, he does.
Boldness means the plainness of speech, fearlessness, and courage. Let me say this. The times I've been in court and I have been with some of my kids, I'm afraid. Especially when they call, you know, where your prayers in. And you have to go up there and you got to stand before the judge and try to explain some stuff. It ain't so easy. You know, it ain't easy explaining this And you got to explain why your child may be acting that way or what you're going to do to prevent your child. It doesn't make sense. They put it that way. And like we say, we didn't even do the crime. But we feel like we're going to do the crime. Don't make sense. But probation, brother and sister.
Yes, sir.
When your probation is denied. It says we can come boldly with plain speech, friendliness, with courage. Isaiah 8:1-18 says, now what? Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. See, no matter what your situation is, he said, let us talk.
Come on, talk to me.
Come, let us get together. Let us begin to explain. Let us try to reason something out. Let us try to come up with a solution of what's happening or what you have done.
Yeah.
Brother and sister, we need to understand something, that we're all on probation.
Yeah.
But we can go boldly before our God.
Yeah.
A person who attempts to make people involved in a situation.
Come on.
What you ask me, what are you saying?
Come on.
It's called a mediator. And mediator stands between two people.
Right. You don't have to speak.
If Anthony, come here, Brian, and Brother Quentin, no, he did it for you, and Brother Quentin had some problems with one another.
Right.
No, I'm the mediator. Don't pass me. I'm the mediator.
I'm the mediator.
See, I come between them.
Yes.
I talk to both of them.
Yeah.
Anthony tells me how he feels. Quentin tells me how he feels.
Now,
So as a mediator, I got to come between and try to work out a
we're
solution.
going to work it out.
What's going to be best?
That's right.
I ain't going to let Anthony talk too much. Because Anthony don't want to praise too much. And Quentin don't want to hear that praise and that hallelujah and that thank you, Jesus. So they make me handle it.
So now let the pastor
I'm going to
down.
try to talk to it the right way and try to calm some things down.
That's right.
And hopefully as the mediator, I can have them to meet on a common ground.
Yes.
But Brother Anthony, Quentin, I'm going to try not to praise too much, because I know sometimes I get a little carried away with it. But if I do it every now and then, please forgive me. And Quentin would say, okay, brother, I forgive you. And so they begin to work together, and things begin to work out because they had a mediator to come between them. See, they didn't understand that. See, we have a mediator. That while we're on probation, our mediator is constantly speaking on our behalf.
That's right.
See, a mediator has to be somebody, brother and sister, pretty much, well, down here he can't be. But our mediator up there has never seen.
Never seen.
Our mediator up there, brother and sister, he has never messed up.
No.
So therefore, brother and sister, not only does he mediate for us, but he intercedes for us. He prays on our behalf, brother and sister. The Bible says in Hebrews 7:25, for he always lives to make intercession for them.
That's right.
So not only is he talking to his daddy for us, Daddy, I know they're messed up. Daddy, I know that they have made some messed up sometime. I know that they're still struggling with the flesh. Daddy, I know they still have some shortcomings. But Daddy, please just look at my hand. Daddy, just look at the nail scars. Daddy, just give them another chance. Daddy, you know that I was born and I said, prepare me a body that I may become a sacrifice. And Daddy, you remember you said in the garden that you were going to put enmity between them, but you were going to make a way of escape for them. Daddy, just please. This is what Jesus does for us.
Yes, he does.
He's our mediator, brothers and sisters. He's coming between us and the Father. And I know that the Bible says he prays for us.
Ooh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And even when we pray for ourselves and don't even know what we're praying about, the Holy Spirit gets our prayers and takes it to them and interpret our prayers. A mediator. What is a mediator? Genesis chapter 18:26, brothers and sisters. If you remember the time when Abraham went to the city of Sodom.
That's right.
You remember when Lot got upset and they went their own ways and the Bible says that Lot pitched his tent toward Sodom. See, they knew that Sodom was a mess. But Lot chose to go anyway. Well, he went towards Sodom, but the closer you get to sin sometimes, the more you will be drawn into it. And being that he pitched his tent towards Sodom, brothers and sisters, he was drawn into their lifestyles and the way they were living. And God decided to destroy Sodom. God had become upset with them. So what began to happen? Brother Abraham stepped on the scene. He became a mediator.
Right.
He said, God, he said, wait a minute, God, hold it. He said, wait, what if we can find 50 righteous folks in Sodom? Would you spare the city? Would you not destroy them if there were 50 righteous folks? Will you leave it? God said, if I find 50 righteous folks, he said, I will not. So I can see Abraham going trying to find the 50 righteous and couldn't even find them. He came back. I thank God for a mediator. He came back to God and said, well, God, it ain't 50, well, at least 45. And let me go. And I can see him running through Sodom looking for 45 righteous folks. Looking for 45 folks that are living right, trying to find somebody so that God can save the city.
Yes.
And they couldn't even find it. And it went from 45 to 40 and went all the way down to 5. And God got to a city where Abraham could not even find 5 righteous folks. You see what would happen? See, Lot, they weren't all righteous. Y'all hear what he just said? But God was just sparing them.
Yes.
He was sparing. See, interceding and mediation. It makes a difference. We serve a God of justice and a God of mercy. Lot and his family should have been destroyed. But God chose to give them an opportunity. That's right. God chose them to give them a chance. Saints, what would happen if God came through the church today and said, can I find these 5 righteous folks? What would be said? How would things be taken from us? What would happen? Well, the Bible simply tells us in Joel chapter 2, let the priest who minister to the Lord weep between the porch and the altar. Say it's time for some weeping.
Yes.
It's time for the church to start praying, brother.
Yes, it is.
Between the porch and the altar, not only for our children, for our families, but for our church and for our city, for our nation. Brothers and sisters, it's time for God's people to start weeping.
Yes. Help us.
Time to start praying.
Yes.
Asking God for mercy and grace, not only our children, our families, but our nation and the world all around us.
Amen.
It's time for us to start weeping between the porch and the altar.
Yes.